The Mellow Brick Road is a park bench magically transformed into a podcast, and its hosts are not experts, so their advice should never be followed. Also, this is not a show for kids. This is a park bench podcast, not a jungle gym. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Mellow Brick Road, a park bench magically transformed into a podcast. I am the man with the plan, Van. Hello.
Nice.
Thank
And
you.
I am a race ace named Trace.
A race ace. What is a
How you like
race
that?
ace? What does that
I'm
mean?
good at races, dude. I never lose.
You are very good at races. I always put my money on you. That's for
I never
sure.
lose.
Before we get into the show, long time, long no podcast, my friend.
Yeah, I know.
You have
I'm
been a busy bee.
yeah, I'm a busy dude. It's summer. It's been 1,000 degrees, I think. I think it peaked at 1,000.
I got 960 where I am, but I think it's because of
Yeah.
all the water.
Yeah, it's just been it's amazing how much a 1-year-old does and requires.
Well, once they start walking, I mean, you're
Yeah, it's
done.
over. It's
It's
over.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like this close to being able to reach a door handle, like the ones that can just pull down.
Mm-hmm.
Once that happens,
Have to get one of those
yeah,
shock
I don't know.
collars or something.
Yeah.
Get your yard. Well, yeah, make sure you get for your new yard, you have to get a, whatever those things are
Yeah.
called.
The
Those
underground.
underground torture devices, whatever
Yeah,
those things are.
exactly.
I don't know what those are. I don't like them.
I haven't been here in a while. Mason's been holding down the fort. You and Mason have been holding down the fort.
He does
So
okay.
saw you guys playing some Phasma, which I haven't done in a while.
Dude, it's been a while and we got both of the ghosts correct. Mason got
Honestly,
Mason got both of them, I should say. He's the one that got them.
um,
It was
I'm gonna
impressive.
use some kid lingo. The video games ain't hitting at the moment. I'm in a weird lull where video games just aren't
Okay.
really. I don't know. Like I've been playing Hitman again, which we've talked about at length, but like I don't know.
Right.
It's just I'm not feeling Fortnite. We've kind of beat our co-op games that we've been playing, so it's like just kind of in a weird lull at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Just
But I don't
find a
know.
new game.
I don't know what I'm waiting for
I
though.
mean, hey, you're hanging out with your infant son.
True.
I think what it is you'd rather be doing that than playing the games.
Yes, that is true.
Because you feel like if
It
I'm playing the games and I'm not hanging out with my son. The only
yeah,
reason why I got you trapped here right now is because I put a bunch of sleeping pills in the boy's milk. I'm
he
joking. I
was
didn't do that. I have not seen your son in quite a while, actually, which is probably because I make comments like that. And I understand.
yeah. Our schedule, let's just say in general, our schedules aren't quite lining up. We luckily got to go to breakfast the other day, but
That
other
was
than that,
nice.
you and I have not, our paths have not crossed very often lately from a
No.
scheduling standpoint. But I will say 2 days after you and I went to breakfast, I got chicken and waffles for the first time in my life. 2 days later, we went back and I got chicken and waffles again.
Yeah, dude. I threw my leftovers right in the trash when I got home. There was no way I was going to eat that leftover food. There's no way.
I both times got chicken and waffles, ate half of them,
Yeah.
took them home in
So
a to
good.
go box, and ate the other half for lunch.
Told you. That's why it's the best.
So,
That's why it's the best thing to get.
and how I've never ordered it before in my life, I don't
Yeah, it's something
know.
you hear about and you're like, I just don't get
Yeah,
it.
it's all hype, but it was
Like what?
good.
And not everywhere serves it. So you're like, is that like because it's not that good? But what
Yeah.
you find out is that's a delicacy. Like
Hmm.
when you find a place that does serve it, you're like, oh, then they must rock this place. Like they must rock it
I
because if
do.
you're not if you don't have it on the menu, it's because you're too cowardly to try.
Yeah.
You know.
I
But if you see it on the menu, it's like, oh, these people are brave.
they got to be. It's
They
got to be
probably,
decent if it's
yeah.
still on the menu.
I'd go.
I,
I'd
I
want these people on the front lines.
I feel like I need to be careful. I don't think I can order it the next time. I think I can't order it every time. I can't order it at the
Mm,
next one,
right,
but I
right. I
need to
hear that.
keep it. I need to,
Keep it on your
keep it in
radar.
my, yeah.
Yeah, dude. That being said, I went to High Chai the other day.
I know.
I
Did we
got
talk about that
hey,
on the podcast? Like how much
no,
we
you
love
haven't.
Thai chai?
Oh, for sure. We've
Well,
done it
just in
multiple times.
general. Yeah.
Yeah. I got scolded by the woman that works at Hy-Vee while I was there.
Was she Chinese?
No, there
Oh,
was an Asian woman working there.
that's
I did ask her if I was like, do I need to? Because okay, here's what I did. I was
yeah.
dog sitting
Walk me
for
through
Mason
this.
actually, when he was on vacay with his
Hmm.
fam, and I was like, I gotta get Hy-Vee. It was the middle of the day, so I was like, it's gonna be super freaking busy.
Hmm.
Classic Como.
Classic. Can't get
So
away from it.
I just was like, I'm just gonna use DoorDash. I wasn't gonna go and get it delivered.
Oh.
So I was like, I'll just get it on pickup. I mean, is what I mean. I'm just gonna get it on
Oh.
pickup. And I guess I could have done it maybe from Hy-Vee's website. I don't really know how that works, but
Hmm.
um, I didn't check. I just knew I was
I got
using
out of
DoorDash to get coffee because for some
yeah.
reason Mason doesn't keep coffee in his house because he's an insane person. I don't really know what he
Yeah.
does to wake up, but
I got out of the I got out of Como or like of an area that has that stuff available before the delivery and pickup things really
mm,
took like it was there and we could use it, but it was expensive.
yeah,
Now
no,
it's
it's
like you
not.
can do groceries
Yeah,
and you
now
can do
it's
I
choice. Do
I've
I get
never
coffee? I just
ordered
get
and
straight up
picked up.
coffee.
Yeah.
Every so often though, you get them at like the other day. I got coffee. I got two coffee. I got a large coffee and I got an espresso.
Never
Just
had that
to
before.
dump into my once I got like halfway through my coffee, I was gonna dump it in as like a little kind of a boost to get me through the
Like
day.
a caffeine Jaeger bomb.
Precisely.
I've never done that either.
But um when I got the order of the coffee, the pickup woman, I saw it on my phone when she arrived. I saw her like from like 20 feet back taking a photo of the coffee in
Hmm.
front of the door. And then she ran to her car and sped off. And I was like, man, she must be busy. Open the door. The the puddle around the bag was like red flag number one, right? Number one red flag. Weird.
Huh. She did it on
Two,
purpose?
going
Okay.
to
Sorry, I was just listening.
pick up the bag. I don't know this. I don't know if she did.
Right, right, right.
I go to pick up the bag, find out pretty quick that the bag is nearly it's nearly two things. Two things catch my eye on this, and both are red flags. Both are immediate red flags. So this is like first thing in the morning.
Hmm.
Uh, and first is the bag is nearly weightless, and it's
Oh,
also nearly disintegrated. Like it is soaking. It is, dude. It is sopping wet. Like the
like
whole bag from top to bottom, the whole
a
bag.
paper bag?
Yeah. Starbucks,
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
and the whole thing's soaking wet, sopping wet. And I'm like, what? And I look inside, and like the cups are just covered in coffee, covered, and it's like dripping. And
What the
oh
heck?
man, and so man, I was telling Mason, I said, our parents, my mom taught us not to. We don't complain that much. We're pretty
Right.
good with like, this is fine. It's no big
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But when it's time to complain,
Yeah.
do I know how to write myself a strongly worded review letter? And I got some money back, baby.
Hell
I went
yeah.
and I said,
Little store credit?
I was like, you know what? Fucking this is how my day is starting. Then I need an
Yeah.
immediate like that's it's dipping down that low. I need an immediate like high jump back up to even to boost me even higher than I was even gonna get with
Yup.
just that. So
Yup.
I went to another spot. Shout out Eliana's Donut Shop in Como. You are literally the best.
Yo,
Always
shout
are,
out.
always have, but I always shout out. I got a large, uh, uh, like latte,
Hmm.
cappuccino. I think it was a latte, and a sausage, egg, and cheese croissant sandwich. Delicious. And I got a cake donut. OG chocolate.
Nice.
So
Hell
good.
yeah.
Yeah, dude.
My guess is Starbucks' fault. And then that driver didn't realize it until they already had it. Because I feel like if the driver had noticed it at the store, they'd have been like, hey, this is messed up, or this is like soaking wet, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or
I
did
see.
something happen in the car? You know
Yeah,
what
see that's kind of that's like if it happened in her car, then she's speeding off to like get her car cleaned, which I get totally. Was it her fault? I think I think yes, 100%. I think yeah, I think
Right.
yes, it's her fault in some way or
Yeah.
another. I don't know how. Um, unless like a child, like that, that situation you see in all the TV shows and movies
Right.
where like the car's driving and the ball goes and then the car. I think she's in one of those situations where that happens in
Oh,
real life because I know
the
the
kid was in the
kid,
street.
dude, the kids at the end of the street, they have two
Yeah.
soccer goals literally on their front lawn,
Yep. They
you
didn't
know?
call car. They just
So
kept playing.
exactly. So I think she had to like, whoa, slam it
That's
on.
fair.
So that's what happened. I'm not like maligning her.
Right.
It's crazy that she sped off. I mean, obviously, what are you gonna do? What is she gonna
Right.
knock on my door and go, "Oh, sorry, I'll go back and get you a replacement"? That
Yeah.
would have been cool.
Yeah.
But uh I don't know. I mean, obviously she didn't get her tip. I'll tell you that. Maybe she did. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I still gave her the tip.
And here's her license plate number right here. And
I didn't catch any of that, I promise.
here's her home address. And
I was way too tired. Like
yeah,
it was funny because like the shock of that, like
you're like,
the coffee still woke me up. You
right,
know what I mean?
right.
It's just like not in the way that I had planned,
Yeah.
which is always a blast in the
Made
morning.
your day start in a quick, unexpected way.
Talk about getting a visit from major pain, am I right? Okay. Anyway, let's get into the show. I have a couple opening questions, and maybe we can just go through them both real fast.
Okay.
So the first one, well, okay, let's do this one first. Are people like sponges when it rains? Let's be honest. I found this online.
Are
Someone was
people
asking
like
this.
sponges? I
Like,
will.
like when the rain falls on you and hits your skin,
We
does it
just
soak
soak it
in?
in. I will just say, personally, I am absolutely a sponge. Like I
Hmm.
live for the rain hitting my skin, and I don't wipe it off. I don't shake it off. I'm not a dog. So yeah, I think yeah, I'm a sponge. Yeah.
An
Yep.
absolute sponge.
Look at this sponge.
Look at this sponge. Look at this sponge boy.
Is this guy sponging?
Dude, look at that. Dude, that guy is an
Is that
absolute sponge, dude.
honestly? That's a pretty good word. I mean, I'm
The absolute no, it's Trace Windsor. Trace,
the sponge.
the app no no, the
Oh
absolute sponge.
yeah.
Sponsored by Absolute Vodka? Maybe? Maybe.
Uh, I really like that question because I think I answered it not the way you necessarily intended. But are you asking, do humans physically soak up the water? Or
I
am I thinking way too deep?
I can get the question out real fast for you.
I I I have never thought about it, but I really like the idea that our body, much like a plant, like gets
Yeah. Oh,
like
for no, well
something from
that's
it.
well, yeah, we do. That's how our bodies work. That's how
That's
life
what I mean.
works.
Like
Like
I
when you
think
go out in
that's
the
a
sun, it makes you
really
feel better.
cool thought.
If a human walks outside when it is raining, will they
Mhm.
absorb water as if they are a sponge?
Mm.
That is the question.
Also, just semi-related, my hair holds so much water. I don't know if I just have thick hair or what that reasoning is,
We're a
but it
thick-haired family.
like my hair is very short, yours is very long, but like the amount of water that would sit in my hair if it was wet right now is impressive, I think. I think I am an absolute sponge. That I need to remember that for the
I'm
next
sure, I mean,
intro.
obviously we don't soak up all the rain.
Right.
We soak up some though.
But if you but we're not warm enough and the environments we aren't warm enough to for it to be evaporated.
Our skin's 98.6. That's
Yeah,
pretty
I get
close.
mm. And you're probably just drying. There's
Well, I mean,
probably
like
something going
something's got
on.
to get in there, right?
That's what I
There's like,
mean. I don't
well,
I don't think
there's like
all of it.
oils and stuff on the outside of your epidermis. So not to bring in like too much science for you.
Right.
Hey audience, try to keep up. You got oils on your epidermis. And
I
I
love that
think,
question.
I mean, yeah, I think it soaks up. I think so.
I'd like to ask the guy that um Well, I guess it would make more sense to ask Tom Kenny, but I would like to ask the guy that plays Patrick, that I can't think of his name at the moment.
Marshall's father is his
That
name.
yeah, Marshall's father, I think so.
That's his name.
That would be a good question to ask their like a SpongeBob panel.
Well, we know that they obviously. Well, no. Why would that be a good idea? I mean, obviously they soak up
I
things
just
like a
think it would be.
sponge
I
because
think it
in the
would be
movie
funny.
it soaks up. Oh, I see. I think.
It would be funny to hear Patrick answer that question. Is more what I was going
Well,
for.
well, the experiment we're getting on now, you've sparked the not to like too not too subtle, sparked the idea in my head.
Uh-huh.
What we should do is do an experiment to test this theory
Yeah.
by taking you,
Mm-hmm.
stripping you down,
Mm-hmm. I'm
and
in.
on a table,
I'm in.
and putting a giant sun lamp over you
Okay.
and drying you out,
Oh, like in the
like
SpongeBob
in the
movie.
SpongeBob movie, and then once you're like fully cooked, once you're hashtag cooked,
Dude, he's cooked.
you're cooked. Yeah, we're gonna
That
have to get
sponge
some
is
Gen Z kids in
cooked.
there, and then we'll take some of your tears, your last tears, and we'll dump that on the
Sorry.
thing, and we'll get a. Oh, we'll just dump a bucket of water on you. Actually, be easier.
It is interesting to think about, like, where does that water go on your skin? Because Mythbusters did a thing. This is kind of unrelated. Did a the busted myth of if you run in the rain, you get less wet, but it's not
Oh.
true. It's I think it's the same, or you get more wet when you run rather than walk, which is also an interesting thought, but
I mean,
kind
because
of unrelated.
well, that's all about. Oh Jesus, that's too much for my brain to think about right
I
now.
know.
Actually, no, I'm way too tired for that. Let's just move on to the next question. Wait, I don't even remember if I got through my first story with DoorDash, with the lady scolding me at
Oh
High
yeah,
Chai.
you didn't talk about high chai at all.
She got mad at me because DoorDash, because she was like, you know that you're paying more because because DoorDash
That's
charges more or something for even for pickup or whatever. So next time just she was like, next time just come in and order here like in person. She was just mad that I didn't order in person. And I was
did
like, the whole
you
reason I did that was to like avoid
right the
all of
lunch rush in High
yeah,
V.
this. So like I'm willing to pay a little bit extra to avoid literally this confrontation
Interaction.
right now.
Did you check the I want a lecture box on the app? Because
I think I did. Yeah,
who
I actually my
asked for
finger
that?
slipped. I didn't mean to. Anyway,
Who
dude, it was crazy.
that
I was
is
walking to the I was walking into the well, I was walking around the store looking for a drink,
yeah.
and I literally don't know how that store works anymore. And I just maybe I was just in a haze. I was just like, whole time I was like, what just happened
That
right now?
High V haze, man, it'll
That's
get you.
crazy. That was awesome.
It's a
Uh,
weed strand. High
a
V
weed
haze.
strand. Perfect.
Is that what it's
Perfect.
called?
Yeah, you nailed it, buddy. Hey, how about this next question? Unless you're too high for
No,
this.
no, no, no.
Did you just smoke before this episode
No,
started?
I did not.
One of us did, and I know it wasn't not me.
You're top
Uh,
two and you ain't two, buddy.
Here's the question. Why don't people get shamed for not picking up horse poop like they would with dog poop? You know?
Oh,
Like
okay.
so like you're in a parade or something, or like you're in one of those like small towns
Right, right.
and that it has like a bunch of horses. It's like that
Mm-hmm.
one guy that has horses,
Yeah,
and sometimes he like rides them through the town, and it just poops in the middle of the road. And
right.
everyone goes, "Oh, look, a horse!"
Horse apples. Yeah, everybody, it's like a laughing, like
It's
point and
gross.
laugh,
It's
but like
gross.
not in like a making fun of. It's like, oh, he did his business.
Yeah.
Um, wow, what a good question. I think it's like an
Thank
innate
you.
subconscious thing where back in the dizzy
Back in the
when
desert.
the horses were roaming free, it was
Yeah.
just like in New York, they talked about like they built New York up because there was so much shit in the street from like horses walking through it.
Right. Okay.
I think it's like
I don't
our
think they were. I don't think horses were walking around free in New York, though.
no, I didn't mean like
I don't think.
wild.
I don't think horses
I
like
meant
walked
people
around.
riding them.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay, that makes more sense.
I think then it was like so normal that our brains just remember that. So like generations later, we're just like, oh yeah, horses poop outside and it'll go away. I
I
guess is the
mean,
thinking.
yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, I'm not arguing that horses aren't outside, but it's like,
But it's also a way bigger
sorry,
chore
materials.
to clean um, a horse's mess.
That is true.
You just need a
Yeah,
bigger bag, though.
I keep messing
I
with my
mean,
camera. Sorry.
the premise is the same. I think somebody shooting fireworks. God, I hope that's what that is. Um, I think the dog thing is kind of silly, right? Like, unless it's on the sidewalk, I
Well,
really don't care about it.
isn't horse okay? So, well, I think dog poop has bacteria and stuff in it. That's like
Mm.
not good.
Oh,
Not good for grass. Not good for people. So you got to pick that up. That's gross. That stuff's not
but
good.
it,
I mean, the chances of you getting that into your body is very low.
right.
Horse poop breaks up. I mean, I think a lot of people argue that like horse poop is like biodegradable, so it's like not a big deal.
Oh,
But it's
well,
like
wouldn't
it's
dogs
not. I
be?
mean, but like it's not. I mean, maybe it is. No, see, that's the difference between it because horse poop is made of like grass
Oh, has
and
more.
stuff, so like it
Okay.
breaks down a lot easier than dog
Okay.
poop. Dog poop is like our kind of poop.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's
But like,
everybody poops.
what about
Don't
in
they? Everybody, everything.
what about these places where the humans just poop wherever they want? What do we?
Interesting. Can you
Is that
imagine if you were
a?
just walking down the street, walking down the sidewalk, and then like a guy in front of you, and all of a sudden he just like stops and just like, whoop. I guess in that kind of world, you would have everyone would have that little flap in the back,
Yeah, we would go
like on
back to the
PJs.
the two buttons.
All pants would have that. All pants would have that.
I whenever I
You
step
just
in,
poop on the sidewalk
whenever
and
I
pick it up
step,
with a bag.
and it's totally normal.
That's
Like,
awesome.
and you
There's
see another guy, and you're like, "Hey, man, need a
every
bag?"
50 feet, there is a 30-foot hose attached to every wall, every
Yeah,
building, right? So that
yeah.
you can clean off in
Every
case you have like diarrhea or
yeah,
something one day. I
yeah.
like
Every
this
60
direction the
feet,
show's gone in. This is fun.
every 60 feet, there is a hose, so it can go 30 feet this way or 30 feet that way. And but okay, but what I was gonna say is, if I step in dog poop, I
Hmm.
don't get mad at the owner or the dog. It's just more of like a damn it, why did I do that? That was silly. If you step in
Mm.
horse poop, then I'd be mad at myself because I'd be like, dude, it's huge. Like, how did I manage to do that? Was I
Mm.
not paying attention? If I stepped in human poop, I would be mad at the person.
Well, if you're stepping in dog poop, are you talking about like on the sidewalk? Because if there's
Yeah,
dog
yeah.
poop on the sidewalk, no, that person should
Just in
pick
a
that up.
park on a
No.
trail.
That's where humans walk. Pick it up.
Yeah, but the world's the world, man. You got to
The
walk.
grass, well, the
Things
dog
can
shouldn't be
walk where
pooping on
they.
the dog shouldn't be pooping on the sidewalk. The
Yeah.
dog should be pooping on the grass.
If your dog poops on the sidewalk and you don't pick it up, then we're going to have a human dog centipede situation and you're the caboose owner.
Ooh,
You're the
you're gonna eat that
owner
dog shit.
caboose. Yeah.
That's what you're
That's the
saying?
button. Yep. You got it, buddy. Is that the answer
I
you
would
wanted there?
love, when we were talking about vigilantes,
Yeah.
I would love a vigilante superhero that ran around and stopped people who like didn't pick up their dog's poop on the
Mm-hmm.
sidewalk,
Mm-hmm.
and he like caught those people, and instead of beating them up, because it's not like a huge crime, he just force fed them the dog poop.
Yeah.
That would be cool. That'd be crazy to see on the news. You
That
know
would
how
be awesome.
like with that like Luigi guy, how he like carved the bullets, and you're like,
Oh,
holy
yeah.
shit, that's correct. That's crazy that he like did that.
Yeah.
And so it'd be like, dude, you hear about this guy who's like force feeding people dog poop?
There's like shaky cam video of it.
That's
Somebody's like, oh
awesome,
my
dude.
gosh.
He's like dressed like a ninja. He
Yeah.
sees the camera, he like does a somersault away. He climbs a tree or something. I don't know. That's
Oh, yeah.
awesome. Yeah. So Should we get mad at people who don't pick up horse poop? I think there are people, don't they have
No.
bags? Aren't there things
We
where you
gotta
can like
carry a shovel?
no. I think well, that's what they used to do. They do that in carnivals, uh, in circuses and stuff. But I think they have things now where they have like bags on the back of the horse, like a
Yeah,
grass
I think
catcher,
like police
like for
forces
horses.
have that.
Yeah, that's kind of
Like
cool.
horses that are working.
That's a shitty job at the end of the day to like take that off and you're like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
Dude,
I bet I bet when you get off the other policemen they see you taking the thing off and they go, huh, smells like you've been to the orchard.
yeah.
And you got all those horse apples in there.
Even the police on bikes is making fun of the horse guy.
Yeah, that's the one guy who the
It's like the
police
one
on
time that
bike
he,
man
yeah,
can make fun of someone
where
else.
he's a little bit higher than
Just a
that guy
little
on the
bit.
totem pole.
While he's airing up the tires on his bike, he could say, smells like you've been to the orchard. I
That's
love
great.
that. Let's move on to sports, eh?
Yeah, like a news. And
Yeah.
now for sports.
So I don't, you like the Cardinals. You like the St. Louis Cardinals.
I love the St. Louis
Here's the
Cardinals.
beauty of not really caring about baseball too much.
Mm-hmm.
Is like all baseball news is news to me.
Right.
You are very narrow scope of baseball because you're focused in on the
That is
Cardinals.
true. People think I have like
You might get
endless
other
knowledge. I
things.
don't care about anybody.
You see, you might get other things sprinkled in there if a big thing happens,
Mm-hmm.
like Bill Belichick and that porn star he's dating. Like you'll hear about that, even though you're not a Patriots fan, but you'll
Right.
hear about that
Right.
because it's big news.
Because she
So
was on
this is
CBS Sunday morning.
yeah, she was in charge, cracking that whip.
Yeah.
Uh, so this is a Mets news thing. I don't know if you know
Okay.
about this.
I don't recall hearing anything about the Mets, but
Well, this is like new news. This article is from June 23rd. The New York Mets' latest addition is certainly making a name for himself. Uh, he's a relief pitcher named uh, Richard Lovelady, signing on to help get the squad back on track after losing 8 of the last 9 games. Yikes. Mets not having a good season, it seems. But he would prefer to be known by his nickname. And he's told like all of the MLB this, all of his coaches, all his staff. His preferred name is Dickie. So
Dickie Lovelady.
he must be known as Dickie Lovelady.
Dickie Lovelady. Wow. Wow.
What a name.
Wow. Yeah, I'm
To
trying
name
to
your son
process.
Richard Lovelady.
Lovelady. I've never heard that as a last name, as a surname. Lovelady. Hmm. And he's a pitcher for the Mets.
Yeah,
That's
and
probably a pretty that's a jersey that'll sell.
I think
Whether
he's
that
playing
guy's
right now because we'll see how much the ladies love him. And as the article says, and it turns out Monday is Women's Night at Citi Field.
oh,
So if he gets called in against the Braves,
does he is he a relief pitcher? Does it
yeah,
say anything about okay, so
he's a relief pitcher.
he could
Yeah,
come in
coming
tonight
late.
or
Yeah,
um that's a jersey that'll just sell because whether he's good or not or stays up, that people will just buy that because it's such a great last name.
he's my age. Plays for the Mets.
Wonder what he's making a year.
I could take him.
Yeah.
He's just a relief
Dickie.
pitcher. Cool. So
Dickie.
yeah, Dickie Lovelady, man, what a guy.
Since you brought that up, there's
Sure.
another fun name thing going on in another sport that you and I actually both love.
Okay.
The NHL hockey draft went
Yep.
on
Just happened.
this past weekend.
The
At
past
the time of the
weekend.
recording, I don't know, whatever. And the Blues picked a couple guys. We may get into it, but one of the picks that's getting a lot of attention is a guy that got drafted by Anaheim. His name is his name also Richard? His name is
Roger.
Roger McQueen,
That's
and
cool. Ka-chow.
he is selected to wear the number 95. For those that don't know, that is Lightning McQueen's number.
Who doesn't know that? Come on now, it's cars. Who doesn't
That's
know that?
perfect. That's great. That's great.
You know, I've never seen the Mighty Ducks.
I have not either.
Oh wow.
There's two or three of them.
No idea.
Um,
I have
I
no
d-
clue.
I
People
know I've
reference them.
seen
I
a
just kind
clip.
of go along with it. I always just go along with it.
I know I've seen a clip where one of the actors is talking about how it might have been Josh Peck. I think he was
Is
in the
he in those movies?
second. I think he's like in the second one or so. I could be totally wrong.
Is it
It would have been
Drake and Josh
pre.
times?
It would have been pre.
Like, is it post all that, pre Drake and Josh?
Wow.
Because
Yeah, probably in that
there's a
window.
couple of years in there, I think, where, or unless they overlapped, I don't really know. But
Um,
he was hot and he was really hot and he was cold and he was hot again. I don't really know where he is now though.
he got Oppenheimer, and now he's
Oh,
probably just
that's
cruising.
right. He's cruising right. He's doing fine. He's doing fine. God, I
He
wish I was Josh Peck.
so
He must be having a crazy life.
um I forgot my train of thought there. But Roger's gonna wear the number 95.
Yeah,
He'd never worn it before, which is kind of cool that he's like, nah, I'm gonna embrace this.
that's cool.
Oh, I know what I was saying. Apparently, the Mighty Ducks, like they claim that the movie people claim that they started the Ducks, like
Hmm.
look and logo and all of that stuff, and then they made this franchise. They made a this franchise.
They made
Um,
this a franchise. Huh?
they made this franchise that's
The
like
Mighty Ducks.
obviously based on the movie stuff, and there's like never been a what like royalties or whatever you would call it. Like they've never been paid for that intellectual property, more or less. And I don't know. I
Right.
hope that's kind of shitty.
Kinda.
Anaheim is California.
Hmm.
For some reason, I always think that's in like Washington or Oregon. To me, it sounds like
It
a
never
more
seems like a
northern.
California to me either. It always kind of throws me off
Because
a
like
little
the
bit.
Angels, they didn't come off to me like as California. I don't know. It just seems weird. But I do want to mention something else about the draft.
Is that where Field of Dreams was shot in California?
Field of Dreams.
Because the Angels.
That's in Iowa.
Anyway,
We can go visit that movie set. We should do that. I want to do that so bad.
never seen that movie.
What? I read the book, dude. That's such a
There's a
good.
book about that?
Yeah.
About baseball?
Like any good movie, it was probably based on a book.
Dead Poet Society has a book based off the movie, which is
That's
weird.
weird. I
Well, it's like
drove,
the novelization of the movie, which is
I'm
sometimes interesting. Star Wars has a really good novelization.
I'm not totally positive that person was right. I've never looked into it, so I'm just gonna keep believing it and move on. We were in Nashville, Tennessee one year for my anniversary, and our friends told us we were in an Uber together and we drove past this. I mean, it looked cool. They
Mm.
told us that's where Dead Poet Society was filmed. It was like an old
Yes.
prep school.
Yeah, yeah,
But I
yeah.
never went to look if it was actually filmed there or if like that was like the exterior shots or you know what I mean? Like maybe they didn't
Mm-hmm.
film there, but maybe that's the school that it was
Something is like,
based
where would I
on or
want to go
something.
to like what part of the movie is like, oh wow, this is where they shot the scene at the trophy? They looked at the trophies?
Yeah, there's nothing there.
The field? Like if I like maybe the courtyard where they all like did the marching scene,
Yeah.
maybe? Like I don't know. Maybe the where they oh, this is the field where they played soccer?
Yeah.
I don't
Do you
know.
remember when we went to Canton, Ohio?
Hmm.
We went to that track meet and then we went to the Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Great trip. And then on our way back, we went through Akron, Ohio. Um, and I was looking at the map or whatever, and we were set to go right past LeBron James's high school,
Yes.
St. Vincent St. Mary. And I was like, Dad, we should like go.
Yeah.
And he was like, what a dumb
Mm.
detour. Like, why would we get off the highway to
What a
look at the school?
dumb detour.
And he's like,
What a guy.
what are we gonna do there? Like in the parking. And in fairness, now that I'm older, I'm like, yeah, what were we gonna do? We were just gonna
Yeah,
see the
man.
exterior of a brick building
Yeah.
and then go, but we could see it from the highway. So like we kind of got what I was gonna get out of it.
That's
But
the thing. It's like I think because I don't
it's like, yeah,
I've
LeBron went
said it
there
before.
2 decades ago.
Yeah, I've binged about it before. Like bitch, but binge
Mm-hmm.
about it before on the podcast plenty of times about like going to see like George Washington's house and like who fucking wants to
Oh,
do
I
that?
loved Mount Vernon.
Just like, oh, what does he have a bed in his bedroom? Like fucking
Is his shoes sit
jerk
next to
off.
his bed
Where
or
did his
what?
slaves sleep?
Yeah. And then
That's what I want to know.
you can
But
see
anyway,
that.
oh gross. But I do like going to like in Colorado. I don't remember where I was, but going to see like where
Oh,
they cut
yeah.
into the mountains.
I already knew what you were gonna
Because
say.
like that doesn't look like a bed.
Nope.
That doesn't look like a kitchen.
Yep.
What is this? What is this? What does this do? What is this thing? And then like you just kind of like I guess with Mount Vernon is a little bit different because that was a beautiful like feet
I
farm
was gonna say just
land and like stuff.
locationally,
But like
it was
I don't
cool.
know. It was just it was much more impressive that they had dug into the mountain.
Oh, for sure. I
So
agree with that. And
like
I
something
didn't
like
even go.
Elvis's house and like now I will say though, seeing going to
I'll be going there.
Los Angeles, I will go with you 100%. Going to Los Angeles and seeing Mitzi's house above the Comedy Store, like walking up the
That's cool.
hill
That's cool.
and seeing it, that was pretty cool. It was like 1:30 in the morning. I was with some random man that I had met
A
in my
couple hours
Airbnb
previously.
a few hours. No, I
Yeah.
think the day before.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
might have been
Okay.
a few hours before. I can't
Okay.
remember. Well, we had been enjoying cannabis um, that he had provided.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was nice. He kept getting mad at me because I kept ashing into the street, and California has a no burn. You know, that's the whole like no ashing thing.
Oh,
I was like, I'm from like the wettest part of Missouri.
would have never
So,
thought of that.
like, not the wettest part. That's more south, I'd say, but it's wet in Missouri, so like I don't really think about it too much. But then the next
Hmm.
day I bought an ashtray, so it was all copacetic.
That's cool.
Anyway, seeing Minty's house was very cool, but I don't want to like. It would be cool to go inside if like no one had been in there since like Jim Carrey had lived there, and then like they left it just as it was.
Jim Carrey lived there?
Yeah, a lot of people live there.
Whoa.
People live there now, I think, maybe, or maybe it's a historical. I don't know what it is now,
That's really cool.
but like seeing the Comedy Store, like I'd want to go up and see like Mitzi's office, but like I don't know.
Yeah. I I like when I went to Cerro Gordo, it wasn't so much about like who had been there or what it used to be. It was just the fact that we were like on a mountain in the middle of California and there was history around us. But I get what you're saying. Like, I would rather see the big redwoods than
Mm.
like where, you know, cottage cheese was invented or whatever. Like, I don't care about the Elvis one is about the only one I care about, like to actually see their home. But if they said, "Oh, this is where Brad Pitt stayed when he was at Mizzou," I'd be like, "Oh, cool. I lived here too." Like I don't there for some reason there's no connection to it.
Just looks like a dorm room.
Yeah, you'd be like, "Okay." And they'd be like, "He partied right here in this room." And he'd be like, "So
Yeah,
did my buddy so and so." Like you can't I don't know, there's just something to it where you're like, "Yeah, I don't really." And I love Brad Pitt,
he
but
jerked off in this bed lots of
yeah.
times. We still got the stains. Okay, that's kind of at least that's something that
I'll
shows
take a
he was
look.
here.
I'll take a look. I'll take a look.
I bet George Washington's house was like super clean.
Hmm.
It's all like, does it ever get used? Ever?
Just for tours.
So like, what the fuck? What are we doing? Why are we wasting so much energy
It
and
is,
money trying to keep all of that shit around? Like, why do we need to keep all of his silverware out?
yeah.
This is, I assume, it's like the table is set for like a dinner for 50 that no one will ever attend.
I honestly can't picture anything about that house except the bedroom, which was a bedroom with a small desk, and the back porch where there was rocking chairs, like back patio. And that's the only two things
But
I
like,
can't think of the kitchen. I can't think of any of the other rooms. It was
either
more about
like,
the look, the surrounding grounds were cool.
you want to move, you want to go back to hockey now? Can we move on from whatever the hell we were just doing
Yeah,
there?
I did have
I don't even remember where we were.
the first place I want to say all of everybody that was drafted was 18 years old. Like I that blew my mind.
I
Like
saw
I know
Hofer.
there's development stuff, but like they were all so young and they looked young and I was like, "Oh, this is what it is like when you start getting older and the players are way younger than you." Not
I
that
didn't. I
most of
didn't.
those guys won't, play right away, but still, it was pretty
I didn't
impressive.
really look at all the names, but I saw Hofer got signed to a 2-year extension, which was pretty sweet.
Yep,
I saw we
I
got
did see that.
two Not looking good for politically. We got two right wingers. Hello. No, we got two forwards, which is good.
Yeah.
And another goalie, which I like because that takes a little bit of pressure off of Hofer and Bennington, which is good. Kind of like if one of them is hurt, then it's like you have to have the other one keep playing. So it's kind of good to have that third in the rotation.
Yeah, we got Fyodorov. I never heard anybody else say it.
Yeah,
Fyodorov.
what
Fedorov.
Mikhail Fyodorov,
Fyodorov
uh,
from
Justin.
Magnetorgosk, Russia.
That's cool. Magnitogorsk in Russia. He's probably getting out of the war.
Hammerstein.
Good. We got him. We
Hammerstein.
got him out. He's a prime. How did he not get drafted in that? He's prime 18. We got lucky with him. He's probably been in America for a while. He better watch himself. Justin Carbonneau, 18. In Quebec. There we go. Quebec, it says. And then who's the last one? Uh,
Hammerstein.
Love. His name is Love Herenstram.
Herenstram. That's better.
Love Herenstram. Dude, that's an awesome name. Love is a cool name.
Love is a dope name.
Uh,
But he's
Stockholm
from
native. Oh,
Sweden.
hell yeah,
So
dude.
I wonder if that's like a common name or if that's unique in
Love.
its own right
What
or
would say?
what.
Love.
Love Herenstram isn't
Uh,
big, but his athleticism allows him to make tough saves look effortless.
we got pretty good picks, it seems.
I like it.
We sold a lot of, or we traded away a lot of
I was
our
gonna say
picks.
we
A
weren't
lot of them.
we were pretty absent in that draft. We didn't pick for like 4 rounds.
Yeah, it was rough. I was reading like the schedule. I was like, the Blues would have a pick here, but we traded this away to this team, and we would have two picks here, but we traded these two away. And I was like, oh my god, but
Yeah.
all good, all
And
good.
shout out to St. Louis native Nikki Glazer for announcing the first pick. That was pretty cool. She threw a Brett Hull alcoholic joke in there, which is pretty great. But yeah, shout out to her. STL baby. And you already know I bought one of those hats. Those things are so sharp.
Dude, I'm loving the new logo.
Oh yeah, it was
I was
just
telling someone
released.
I didn't really honestly notice like that the ends of the note were feathers until I
Hmm.
saw the new logo because it's so much more like accentuated. It's very cool. Let's see. I do have some advice before we get out of here. Okay, here's an advice question that I'll tell you who it is after we're done,
Okay.
but I'm gonna leave it anonymous for the show, just in
Oh,
case.
okay.
Just in case.
That's fair.
So I asked this person if they had any advice that they needed help with, and this is what they gave me. At one point, I was pet sitting for a regular. I had gone out, and I think you might already know who it
I already
is,
know.
and I'm talking about. And now some of the audience might also. So, they'll be on the show soon, so get ready.
Hell yeah. I love that.
I had gone out the night before, and I was hanging over hard on the living room couch. At one point, I hear another voice in the house, but groggily think it's the TV. The voice gets louder, so I lean up and decrust my eyes to see a young mixed girl, probably 6 years old. Naturally, I feel confusion. That's when her mom walks in from the mud room. Turns out this is the homeowner's granddaughter, and she came by to grab something from the house and brought her two young daughters. I try to compose myself as I'm half naked in a rat's nest of sleeping bags and had a polite conversation. Is this person homeless? As things are reaching a natural conclusion, this woman tells me that she's leaving her daughter at the house with me, a complete
What?
stranger. I don't agree to this. I tell her I'm not comfortable with her choice. She tells her daughter that she has to stay at the house and then proceeds to leave. So it's me and her daughter in the house for maybe 2 minutes. I'm still hungover and I'm trying to make sure I do the responsible thing. Do I stay and make sure nothing happens to this kid? Or do I leave and protect myself from potential entrapment from the mother? This is a real scenario that happened to me about 3 years back. Okay, so it's not recent. So I'm assuming this already happened. So I don't believe this person has a kid. So I think they avoided the entrapment,
What?
at least. Wow. So, I mean, it seems like she was just gonna leave the daughter there by herself regardless.
Regardless, yeah. If there
Probably
was a
didn't know
half
you were
naked man or not.
there. I don't
I
think
really don't like that.
you don't like what the
I
mother did.
hated that as you kept going on it.
Yeah, that got crazy with it.
I will just say I have a 1 year old, 14-month old. He's,
I don't
somewhat
think you're
close.
leaving that one
I
alone
I don't
ever.
even leave him. I haven't left him. I haven't.
He's
And like,
on you right now.
yeah,
He's locked and loaded.
he's sleeping right now. He like, ooh, I don't like that. I've gotten so much more sensitive to like just that kind of stuff in general. I would
Mm.
never ever, and I know who we're talking about in this scenario. You could not leave the child with a better person or like a more
Right.
trustworthy person,
Yeah,
but they
exactly.
don't
Yeah, yeah,
know
yeah.
that.
They don't know that.
And I,
But maybe he is trusting though. He's got those eyes that are trusting.
yeah, but
Maybe,
I just
maybe
that
she saw something.
if we went somewhere and I came home with my son and there was a like a random high school kid dog sitting for us or babysitting or whatever or dog sitting for us, I even if I knew him, if I knew the family, if I knew his parents, I would not leave them. So if I didn't know who he was, I definitely wouldn't leave him there.
Let's assume. Let's not beat on this mother too much.
Grandma, I'm confused. No, no, no. This is
The
the grandchild.
regular, the regular is the grandmother. He is house sitting for a regular. It is a
Gotcha. I
grandmother.
gotcha. This is the
Her daughter
daughter
comes in
and the
with
kid.
her kid. Yes, two kids, one kid. Two,
You said
either,
two at one point, but then you said
they're
I'm
they're
leaving
just
one
leaving
kid.
one, which is another
Weird.
confusion thing. But
Where do you have to go for 2 minutes that the kid can't come
he
with you?
did say he was hungover, so maybe he thought he saw two kids, but really it was just one. You know
He
what I
was.
mean? So here's what I'm thinking. What if it was like mom, I need to grab something from your house, Kelly, or from this or that. I need to leave my kid. I'm not at home, but my dog sitter is there
Mhm.
and he's cool. You know, they're cool. So like don't worry about it. Just like
Do your business, and the leaving the kid part is crazy to me. And
yeah,
like I said, this
that's
person is
a
extremely
huge.
trustworthy.
So what do
But
you do in that scenario if that's you and the kid gets left? Do you just leave?
as the person asking for advice here, wow, I'm way too nice of a person. I would have also fell into the trap of being like, I'm not comfortable with this, and they'd have been like, no, it's fine, I'll be right back. And then you go, okay, I guess I'll stay here. And then you are trapped.
I
But
think I would have asked. I would have been like, would you have left her by herself?
yeah,
Like if I wasn't here, and if they would have
2 year
said
old,
yes, I'd have said, peace out, I'm out, I'm out the
that's
door.
crazy,
No,
dude.
no, no, just watch. No, 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 no. You were gonna leave them by themselves, so I'm not.
Yeah, I'll
I'm
just
gonna.
step out.
I'm fucking going to Taco Bell. I'm
Yeah,
hungover as fuck,
exactly.
dude. No
I'll
way.
be back in 30 minutes.
I can't even function correctly.
I
So
don't like
I
that.
shouldn't be responsible for your child. So that's what I
Yeah.
would. My first question is, would you have left them by the if it's like, well, no, I was told you'd be here, and it's just for a couple minutes. I'd say, all right, fine.
Or if
Give me some Pedialyte wherever you're going.
and maybe the daughter didn't communicate with the grandmother, but like, and maybe the grandmother's not into doesn't do this, but like a text, like, hey, my daughter's coming by with to do something. Like just that warning would be a lot of like, hey, somebody's coming by the house. It's my daughter.
Yeah,
Then you're at least somewhat prepared. It's not like the shock of someone coming in and the shock of them leaving the child, but or like a phone call, like, hey, my daughter's going to come by. Is there any way that while you're there, she can run to the
a
grocery
heads
store?
up,
It's
a
so
heads up
different than
would have
just
been nice
yeah. But
from
maybe the grandma was
from the regular.
right.
A heads up would have been nice. And that's something you can bring up. Well, this is 3 years in the past, so
Yeah.
um,
I would have asked for double pay.
I need more information. We might have to bring this person in.
Yeah.
I honestly double pay isn't a bad option, or like some sort of like extra
Compensation.
thing.
But it also depends. Like if she literally ran back out to her car to pick up the rest of the grocery bags,
Oh,
whatever.
no
Yeah,
biggie.
I would have been like, yeah, whatever. But if she left the driveway with her vehicle,
Mm.
it now turns into a different scenario that you were not properly prepared for.
Yeah, that
Again,
was about to say, what if
this
she's
human
like,
is
oh, what if I just need to go to Walgreens just around the corner real fast
yeah,
for the milk? I mean, you could be like,
right
yeah, but
now,
like, do you believe that? But how do you
right.
know that's what they're doing? I'd give it, I'd probably be like, okay, and give them maybe until I got my shoes on,
Yeah.
maybe a half hour at the most. If I have nothing going on at all,
Hmm.
half hour at the most.
Yeah. And like we said, this person is extremely capable and is fine in this scenario, but it's still not fair. That doesn't make it okay. That makes it them taking advantage of a good
No,
person.
I said half hour. I wouldn't. I think at
Yeah,
first I
that's
would say I think
crazy.
I'd tell myself at first a half hour. I'll give him a
Yeah.
half hour, 2 minutes, and
Because
I'm
then what
out
do
the
you,
door.
after a half hour, then what do you do? Obviously, you call the person. I don't know. I don't
I
know.
thought you were about to say police.
No, I wouldn't. I would at least reach out to the person for the grandmother first.
Yeah, call the grandmother and say, hey, do you know where? And she goes, do you know where? I think she said her name was like Rebecca, and she's
Hmm.
like, Re, Re, she's like an old one, like a grandma. Said, Rebecca, Re, Rebecca has been dead for the last 40 years. Oh my God. Who's this kid?
The
You turn around, the kid's wearing like a black cloak.
kid's upside
Bye.
down, floating into the ceiling. You're like, oh
Whoa, the kid's a
no.
bat. They open up wings and they start screeching and they got like a really hairy body.
So, was there a conclusion to that, or my advice to that would just be like, I would have probably resisted more. I would have been like, no, 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 that is not what I'm here for. That's not what I'm specializing in, or what I've been hired for, or whatever you want to call it. I would have just pushed back more, but man, I am absolutely a sucker that would definitely watch that kid for an extended period of time because I would just fall into that trap. And that's exactly what they would expect or like
Um,
want in that scenario.
do you leave the kid by themselves or do you stay and like make sure they're safe or whatever? I would check the house for child-proof locks.
Mm-hmm.
If I see one child-proof lock anywhere,
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Or the
This house has
plugs.
been prepped. The child's also 6. Gives you a little bit of leeway to be like, they sort of know. I mean, these days, oh man, wait, 3 years ago. No, they were definitely giving out iPads at 3 years ago for sure. For sure. Throw an iPad at the kid. Get a piece of cardboard. Pretend like it's an iPad. The kid's 6. They're gonna believe you.
Yeah.
And then just go, oh, and just throw it into the other room and then just run.
This all comes down to if if grandma or the woman who hired him, whatever, had better communication from the start, and maybe she was none the wiser. Maybe she didn't even know her daughter went over there or whatever.
Yeah, we don't know.
But it, like, if from the beginning that is presented as a possibility, you would be way more willing to watch. Or if the mom said, I'm running to Hy-Vee, and the grandma had said, hey, she's gonna go to the grocery store. The kid has nowhere to go. Can they sit with you for 20 minutes? You'd be like, they'd be like, just turn the TV on
I was
and
about to say, is there a
like
TV I could turn on like
that's what I mean. Like
SpongeBob or
if
something?
they give you any sort of blueprint, then it wouldn't even be a problem because you'd be
See,
like, oh yeah, that's fine, I
these
guess.
days with me, I'd be like, I'd be like, all right, that's fine. Like TV, like, does he like cartoons? What's he like? Scooby Doo? Fuck yeah, let's watch some Scooby Doo. Fucking get on my phone, DoorDash, coffee, not Starbucks. Uh, coffee, Pedialyte. I'm hungover, dude, because I
I'm a
abuse that
scooters guy.
ISP. Last time I got scooter, I was so upset.
I'm just kidding. I
Um,
don't drink coffee.
well, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you online, and then we can get out of here.
TDub projects on Facebook. Like I said, I've been very busy, so I haven't been super active on there. But I do have a lot of projects from the past that I would love for people to see. So go check those out. Um, I am working on a boat for my son, but go check that out. Hopefully, I'll have
Yeah,
pictures soon. And sometimes we stream on Twitch, and we need to try to get back to that. And so TDub on Twitch, just TDub on Twitch. You can follow me there,
excuse me.
and we'll play some
It's
games.
been a busy summer.
It's been real busy.
A lot of driving.
Yeah, you're so back and forth, and it's just a hard thing to match our schedules up. That's why we're recording late enough that we both have to
It's
yawn
gonna be
multiple
it's gonna be worth it
times.
though. This grinding is gonna be worth it. We gotta keep pushing the way we're pushing it. Shout out
Yeah,
Vidwest Studios. In Columbia,
yeah.
we're pushing it. We're pushing. We gotta keep pushing.
Mhm.
It's gonna be worth it. That's what I keep telling myself. Okay, so yeah, follow me on Instagram at Van Windsor. Um, follow the show on Discord. We have a Discord, Mellow Brick Road Podcast. Follow me on Discord, OnlyVans23. Follow my Twitch, OnlyVans23. I'm playing Dune Awakening right now. I was gonna stream the other day. I'm trying to like build up a little bit more. Um, I just finished the second trial, so now I can like get some more stuff. But I did almost get eaten by a worm, narrowly avoided it, and I turned around and the worm and I had like a staring contest, and then I got an
Ooh,
achievement because the worm stared at me, and I was like, "Whoa, that was crazy!
that's
It's
awesome.
so crazy."
I don't get that game for another year. I'm so bummed.
Have Harlan get it, and then you just play it.
Yeah, then I'll just play it from his thing.
That'd be
I'm gonna
no.
look it up right now,
Do it.
and then just leave it on his desktop.
Yep, do it. He'll love it. And then because he'll start playing it like crazy, and then he'll get into it. Follow the show on Instagram, mbr.pod, on Facebook, Mellow Brick Road. Don't forget to follow us on Blue Sky. I don't really use Blue Sky that much, but it exists. Mellow Brick Road on there. Let me see anything. YouTube, Spotify, follow us. We had a little bit of a mix up last week with the episode not getting posted, but we have a Patreon, luckily. So this whole uncut version is it's going straight from the recording straight to Patreon right after we're done. Um, and so last week's episode is free, still public. I mean, it's on YouTube now. The unpaid path is on Patreon, but the actual like finished episode is actually on Spotify and YouTube now. So everything is good to go. Um, but just so you know, if that ever happens, like it's always going to go like directly onto Patreon. So like always good there. So check that out. Sign up for it. Support the show. Really helps us out. And yeah, that's great. Follow us on the podcast, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, all those ones too. Thumbs up, 5 stars. You know, like, comment, whatever they say. All those internet terms.
All the verbs.
All the verbs that they use. Yeah. So there we go. Any final words, Trace?
Peace and blessings.
Mellow manifestations.